Hi, Math 1. We are going to learn how to graph inequalities that are in slope-intercept form. That's a different form than standard. This is y equals mx plus b equations, but they're going to be inequalities this time. So to graph the line, we need to have a starting point and a slope. These are the key features. The starting point here is going to be 0 and -4. That is the y-intercept. So I'm going to put that on the graph paper right here. And now we have the slope, which is in front of x, 3 over 2. Up 3 over 2. The line needs to be increasing. Okay, what type of line are we going to use? Dashed or solid? Since it has equals, we will use a solid. Okay, dashed line is if there is no equal sign. Equal sign gets solid. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this line. 1, 2, 3 over 2. 1, 2, 3 over 2. This is going to be a solid line. Long line with arrows. Negatives are okay for math problems. Now we're going to see which way to shade. If you have more than or equal, we go up. We go above the line. Along the y-axis, we're going to shade above. But if you have less, then you go down. Okay, below the line means you go under the line. Let's go see what kind of symbol we have. This symbol says less, so we will shade below. We will shade below the line. We have to make sure on the y-axis we go down. So you put your ruler here and you look at the y-axis. Okay, is this the way to go below? No. Okay, below is this way, going down. So we are going to shade everything below the line. Here is the section that we're going to shade. The solution region, okay, is right here. Solution region. Let's see if these points are in the solution region. Is 3, 1 a solution? No, it is not in the solution region. Is 2, -1? 2, -1. It's on the solid line, so yes, it's on the solid line. Is 5, 0 a solution? Yes. Okay. And where were we looking on the graph? Okay. In the solution region. Now they want us to test the point. Okay? Now we're going to test and we're going to show some work. We're going to show some algebra. The x number is 1 and the y number is -1. I'm going to copy the equation, okay, down because it's really, really high. Y is less than or equal to 3/2 x minus 4. And so we're going to put 1 into the x spot, and I will use parentheses. And the y number is -1 on the left. So this side is -1. And let's use our calculator for that side. So I will get the fraction command. Okay. Alpha is green. Alpha y equals. I'm going to put 3 over 2 times 1 minus 4. And what does this side make? -5/2. -5/2. Let's see. -5 divided by 2. The decimals are -2.5. Is -1 less then negative 2.5. I'm going to look at a number line for this. 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So negative 1 is right here. And negative 2.5 is right here. So is he less? No, he's more. The less numbers are going left. The ones on the right are more. No, it is not a solution. 1, negative 1 is not a solution. Okay. We can check that on the graph. Where is 1, negative 1? Oh yeah, he's not a solution. He's not in the solution region. This is a new way to graph inequalities. Okay, so we're going to practice this a little bit. Let's practice determining the line and the shading. What type of line will we use for less than? Dashed or solid? Dashed, because there is no equal sign. Let's go ahead and draw our dashed line. Thank you for giving me all the points. And now we're going to practice shading up or down. Since this says less, we're going to shade down. Okay, so here's the y-axis. Do you shade up? No, we're going to shade down. So everything down gets shaded. Let's do the next one. What type of line? Dashed or solid? We're going to do a solid line because of the equal sign. So let's do a nice long solid line. And which way do we shade when this says more? When it says more, we shade up or above. So on the line, we're going to shade above. And there is the solution region. Let's practice this from start to finish. Here is point slope. Okay? When you have y equals, we're going to have a slope and a point. What is the slope of this line? Minus 2 over 1. Okay? And what is the point? It's not 0. The x number is negative 1, comma 3. Well, we have a dashed line or a solid line. Since it has equal, we will do a solid line. Should we shade above or below? This is saying less, so we're going to shade below the line. Let's get this line drawn, our starting point. Okay, where is that? Negative 1, comma 3 is right there. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Should we go the other way? Yep, we can go up 2 over 1, and we draw our solid line. And now it's time to shade below the line. Okay, so let's look at the y-axis. Which way is below? This is the way to shade below. All of this will be the solution region. Any point in here will work. The solution region. One more. This one is slope-intercept form. Okay, there are key features: a point and a slope. What is the slope of this line? Up 2 over 3. Will it increase or decrease? It will increase since it is positive. And what is the y-intercept point for this line? 0, negative 1. Okay, what else do we need to know to graph this? Will we do a solid line or a dashed line? It is just greater, so we need to draw a dashed line and shade above or below. Shade above. All right, let's do all these things. We start on the y-intercept up to over 3. I can't fit anymore, but I can go down to over 3. Okay, what type of line? A dashed line. Dashed line, get your points lined up. Dash, dash, dash. And it says to shade above, so we will color everything going up. This is the solution region. Okay. After you get good at graphing inequalities, we have to learn how to write them. There's 2 ways to write lines: slope-intercept or point-slope. So let's do one of each. Okay. A starting point. If you can find one on the y-axis, we always use the y-intercept. And the slope of this line is down 1 over 3. Okay. Did they draw a solid or a dashed? They drew a dashed. Did they shade above or below? They shaded above. So I need to put all of these things into an inequality. Okay? And it's going to be like y equals mx plus b, but we're going to have to change the equal sign into an inequality symbol. So let's see. Y. We went above. So is that more or less? More. Should I use an equal sign? No, because it's dashed. And now I will use these key features. Negative 1/3 x plus 2. You take all your information and you put it into an inequality. Let's take a look at point slope. Okay. The starting point is not a y-intercept. We're going to have to pick another one. I'm going to pick this one right here, 1, 3. Now you could pick another one. You could pick this point if you want. Okay. You can pick a different point, but not a y-intercept point. The slope, okay, is rise over run. What's the slope of this line? 2 over 3. Is it solid or dashed? It is a solid line. That means I need equal sign. And did they shade above or below? They shaded below. They went down. So y, do I do greater or less? Below means down, means less. Equal sign because it was solid. And now I will write the equation of the line. 2/3 x. If you see plus 1, we put minus 1. Do I switch the y? No. Now you try to write this inequality. Here's the things you should find, okay? It has a y-intercept point. You need to find the slope of the line. You need to see if it's solid or dashed. And then you have to consider above or below. Let's see how you did. We have 0, -4, and the slope goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1. or just a 6? It is definitely a solid line, and they shaded above. So what is the correct inequality symbol for solid above? Greater than and equal to. And now we write the equation mx plus b, 6x minus 4. Great job, Matt.